It's Dominique, and I'm going to teach you how to knit a sock. It's a sock that I've made for my son, who is 10 months old. So this is a baby version, but the pattern that I'll be using applies to any kind of sock, whether it's for yourself, an adult, a young child, or a baby. The only thing that changes is the number of stitches you start out with. So the way we're going to knit the sock is you're going to cast on 44 stitches, you're going to knit a rib, and then you're going to knit the heel, pick up some stitches, knit the rest of the foot, and then decrease for the toe. And I am using a self-striping yarn. It's by Drop Studio. It's Fable. And you need yarn, obviously, and you also need a set of 5 double-pointed needles. You can do it on 3, but I'm going to do it on 4 needles plus your 5th one as your working one. So to get started, make a slip stitch with your yarn. Slip it onto one needle and try not to cast on too tightly. If you do, it makes the first round the hardest, I find. So I'm going to make 11 stitches per needle for a total of 44. So it's like I'm knitting, yarn over, and then pull through. So this new loop that I'm pulling up is my new stitch, and then I'm just going to put the new stitch on there and pull tight. So now I have 2 stitches. Once again, as if I'm knitting, insert the working needle up and behind your left hand needle, yarn over, down and pull through, and then just stretch it. Put it over your left hand needle and tighten a little bit, and then you have your new stitch. So go ahead, make 11 stitches per needle for a total of 44. And just so you know, the needles that I'm using are metal. So I prefer bamboo or wood, but I'm borrowing these, so that's okay. They're 2.5 millimeters, and the yarn that I'm using is meant for socks, so it is a thinner yarn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm just going to double count, make sure I have 11 on this one needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I have 11, so I'm going to make another, but then transfer it over to the next needle. And some people, they prefer to just knit on one long needle, or cast on, sorry, on one long needle, and then split them up. That's another alternative. So I made the stitch. Instead of putting it on, I'm just going to keep it on this one, tighten it so it stays put, grab a new working needle and just keep going. So that way there are 44 stitches. So when you're done casting your 44 stitches, then you can start doing your rib, which is the tube part of the sock. So as you can see here, there's raised V's, that would be your knit 2, and then there's kind of like a valley, it's a little bit deeper, and that's your purl 2. And you're just going to knit and around, knit 2, purl 2, and you're just going to keep going until you have the appropriate length. Some people buy 2 pairs of needles, or 2 pairs of double pointed needles, same size, and they work the socks, both socks at the same time. And by doing that, they just buy 2 separate balls of yarn, or they use either end of one ball of yarn to do that for a child's sock, for example. That way they can keep track of their work and ensure that they're even. I only have the 1 pair, so hopefully it turns out okay. So that's it for casting on for the sock, and then I'll start my ribbing, and when I get close to the end I'll make another video to show you guys how to knit in a rib on double pointed needles. Thanks for watching.